Let's talk about something called endpoint security. And I know that sounds super technical, but it really just boils down to one simple thing. Every single laptop, phone, or server your team uses is a potential door into your entire company. And now, with so many of us working from pretty much anywhere, well, those doors are basically wide open.
I mean, think about that question for a second. It sounds a little dramatic, right? Almost like something out of a movie. But seriously, could the computer you're on right now, sitting on your home Wi-Fi, be the one weak link that takes down your entire company?
Because for one key employee at LastPass, yeah, the giant password manager, this wasn't some hypothetical question. It was a devastating reality. And how it all went down is a huge lesson for every single one of us.
So let's dive into the LastPass hack, because it's the perfect and frankly a pretty scary example of this. What makes it such a powerful story is that it wasn't some super complex, sophisticated attack. Nope. It was a simple chain reaction that started in the most normal place you can imagine, an employee's house.
So check this out. The way in was shockingly simple. A personal media server, a Plex server, something tons of people have, that just wasn't updated. That's it. From there, the hackers installed the keylogger, which is software that records every single thing the employee typed. And then the final domino. The employee typed in their master password. Just like that, boom. The hackers had the keys to the entire kingdom, and customer password vaults were exposed.
And this one story, it just pulls back the curtain on a much bigger problem. The whole idea of a secure office network is, well, it's kind of dead. The new front line for security isn't some server room in an office building. It's your living room, your kitchen table, your home office.
You know, we used to think of security like a castle. All the important stuff was inside the walls, protected by this big, strong corporate firewall. But remote work has completely shattered that. The front line isn't the castle wall anymore. Now, it's every single one of those endpoints, each one connecting from a network that just doesn't have that same level of protection.
Okay, so if the castle walls are gone, how do we defend this new, scattered battlefield? Well, your first layer of defense has to be on the device itself. We need to start thinking about modern antivirus software less like a simple scanner and more like a full-time digital bodyguard for each and every device.
The industry has a fancy name for this, EDR, which stands for Endpoint Detection and Response. But all you need to know is that it's a huge leap forward from old-school antivirus. EDR doesn't just look for viruses it already knows about. It's actively watching for any suspicious behavior. And, this is the key part, it gives you the tools to actually respond to an attack in real time. It's proactive, not just reactive.
But not all EDR tools are created equal, and honestly, the right choice really comes down to your company's size. If you're a startup, you need something that's powerful but also wallet-friendly, like Bitdefender. As you grow into a small or medium-sized business, you might look at SentinelOne or Microsoft's own Defender. They have more robust features for a growing team. And then, you've got the big guns like CrowdStrike. It's the gold standard for huge enterprises, but it definitely has a price tag to match.
And I absolutely love this quote from Tony Pierce at Splunk, because it's just perfect, no-nonsense advice. Don't recommend CrowdStrike for a startup, you'll get fired. It's so true. It's a classic mistake to go for the most powerful, most expensive tool when you just don't need it. The goal here is to find the perfect fit for your real needs and, of course, your budget.
Okay, so we've got the device itself locked down. The next layer of our defense is the connection, the pathway between that device and the internet. And this is where tools like VPNs and firewalls are absolutely essential.
Just think about the difference in risk here. In the office, your connection is shielded by all this heavy-duty corporate security. But the second you connect to the Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or the airport, you're on an open, untrusted network. Your data is pretty much out in the open, visible to anyone else who's connected.
And that is exactly the problem that a VPN, or a virtual private network, is designed to solve. The best way to think about it is like an encrypted, private tunnel for all your internet traffic. It basically scrambles all your data, making it completely unreadable to anyone trying to snoop on that public network. It is an absolute must-have for any remote worker.
Now here's something else. Your computer also has its own built-in software firewall. This is meant to protect you from other devices on the same network. But here's the really critical part you need to know. On Windows, this is turned on by default. But on macOS, it's off. You have to manually go into your settings and turn it on. Seriously, it is one simple click that can make a huge difference to your security.
So we've covered a lot of tech, but we can't ignore the single biggest vulnerability in any organization, and that's the human element.
You see, the number one way hackers get in isn't by breaking down digital walls, it's by simply tricking someone into opening the front door for them. And their primary weapon of choice is called phishing. It's really the art of digital deception, crafting an email that looks exactly like it's from your bank or from your CEO, trying to trick you into clicking a bad link or giving up your password. It is brutally simple, is incredibly effective, and is the root cause of so many security breaches.
And these hackers are always getting more creative. It's not just about emails anymore. Now you've got vishing, where they try to scam you over a voice call. You've got smishing, which is the same idea, but it comes through a text message. There's even farming, which is a really scary one, where they can redirect you from a real website to a perfect fake without you ever knowing it. They're constantly changing their methods.
And look, this isn't some abstract threat. This is real. This is a screenshot from the hacking group Lapsus, and they are brazenly tweeting out pictures from inside the network of Okta, a massive company that handles logins for thousands of other businesses. Hackers aren't hiding in the shadows anymore. They are public, and they use these breaches to build their reputation. This is what's at stake.
Okay, we've gone through the threats, we've talked about the tools, so let's bring this all together into a clear, simple, actionable plan that you can actually apply to your own business no matter what size it is.
We can break this down into 3 simple tiers. First, the basic level. For everyone, you need good antivirus and a solid VPN for whenever you're on public Wi-Fi. That's the bare minimum. As your company grows, you move to the medium tier, where you'll want to layer on more protection, a more advanced EDR, a company-wide VPN, and a dedicated email scanner. And finally, for advanced security, you're looking at the top-tier EDR suites, the best email scanners, and a model called Zero Trust, which basically means you don't automatically trust any connection. Just find the tier that fits your business, and that's your roadmap.
So, let's end right where we started. Every single one of your team's devices is a front door to your business. And after seeing just how easily a huge company like LastPass was breached, the only question that really matters is a simple one. Is your front door locked?